So good afternoon, everybody, new friends, new family, new followers, new people who are just tuning into the money mantra, right? Now, I've really been doing this thing for a year. The focus has never, ever, 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 ever shifted. It's always been to educate people. It's always been to elevate your mind and really shift your perspective and get you to see things differently. Most people look at things one way, which is just the way they know, and is based on their internal programming. So I really just want more people to I want to bring your awareness to your own personal programming and figure out how you can really shift that to elevate where you want to be in life. Because I think that's important to have awareness and then to know how to navigate that awareness. Because the human experience is not easy at all. It's really repetitive and you don't really know what's going to happen. So you have to either go through your life with fear or you have to go through your life in a faithful way. So this series is called Off the Charts, and we're gonna do it every Wednesday at 2 p.m. in place of our strategies and charts training. Again, just to have different conversations about money. So you definitely, I hope you guys watch your notebooks. I hope you guys are ready to receive these gems. So if you guys are ready to have this conversation, I mean, ready to have an open mind, have your perception expanded, shifted, and developed, just drop some sevens in the chat because I am ready to give these gems. Yes, for the sevens in the chat. Yes, the sevens are coming in. I see y'all. I see y'all. Exactly, exactly. This is a very, very, very family oriented environment. And I just want to speak life over all y'all because my parents did the best they could, but they did important to me continuously every single day in order to do the right programming. So this is exciting. I love being in these spaces and I love having these conversations. So first and foremost, today we're going to talk about your relationship with money. Are you in the right environment? Are you in the right mindset? Are you practicing the right habits? And what types of things are you doing to position yourself to be able to make more money? Because that's what we all want. Um, and it's not really the money, it's the freedom that comes with it. You want to be able to vacation when you want to vacation. You want to be able to take care of yourself, your children, your family, your parents in the best capacity possible. You want to be able to travel with your entire family at the same time. I know I would probably enjoy like a really big family vacation or a reunion that was just really max, where everybody got to experience just luxury and the really the joys of life. But we need the money to do that, and we have to align ourselves with that frequency, and we have to believe that we can actually do that thing. And we are going to talk about the word belief, right? Because that's very important. So if you are taking notes, that's the first thing that we're going to focus on is belief. Do you believe that you can be a wealthy person, right? You can take about 5 to 10 seconds to answer that. And if the answer is no, then you have to really examine yourself. Why don't you believe that? And it's going to come down to understanding your paradigm and being able to shift that paradigm. Your paradigm is your internal programming, right? It's a central set of core ideas and beliefs that shape how you see the world, how you move throughout the world. And the word belief, if you actually break it down, to be, right, means to exist, right? And then the leaf, LIEF, means happily, right? So belief means to exist happily. So when you think about money, how do you start to feel automatically? I'll give everybody about 10 seconds, right, to think how do you feel like when money comes to mind? If I just say the word money or millions, what words come to your mind? And it's okay if it's worry. It's okay if you're anxious. It's okay if it's scarce. It's okay if it's more lack, anxiety, right? Double, multiply, millions, right? Yeah, I see a lot of different answers in the chat. More, right? I like that one. More and anxiety are two things that are really coming up that's common. And you have to look at that. Why do you feel anxious when you hear the word money? Is it just a word, or is it every time you're on that vibration, right? Because everything we want is a vibration. Every time you're on that vibration, you things don't seem to go well. So now you in your mind and your subconscious, you've associated having money with things not going well, because every time it gets too good to be true, things just seem to fall apart and go backwards. But that is your paradigm. That's your belief about money. Your core central belief is that every time I get money, things seem too good to be true. So therefore, something's gonna mess it up. Something's gonna ruin it. Something's gonna take it away. This is actually too good to be true. That's your central core identity and belief about money. And that's what you have to change. Anything you haven't been able to change about yourself, you have to look a little bit deeper, because it's really something more than what meets the surface. You have to really dive deeper. Why does money make you anxious? So for everybody who did drop something in the chat and who is participating in the conversation, um, I want to know, what's the next word you think of after you think of that? For my people who said more, why do you think more? For my people who said anxious, why do you say anxious? For my people who said millions, why do you say millions, right? And I don't want you to go down the rabbit hole. I really just want you to give me the next word that comes to mind after the anxiety, right? Okay. Bills, responsibilities, okay, control, okay, okay. All right, cool. It says I am breaking up, guys. So let me know if I'm good. Just give me a one in the chat. If I'm breaking up, drop a four. Y'all can do that throughout the session, just so I know where I am. Okay, cool. You guys said I'm good. Right. So when you think of these things, you have to know and understand that, okay, if my anxiety is attached to control, I have to focus on the things that I can control so that I am not anxious. And if you're not in control of your money flow yet, you can be, just by simply shifting your paradigm. And literally, I'm gonna say this again: your paradigm is your core, central ideas and beliefs that you have, is what you always go back to. There's a guy, his name is Maxwell Maltz, I believe, and he wrote a book called Cybernetics. And I highly encourage you guys to write this book down. If you've ever read this book, or if you've ever heard about this book, just drop a two in the chat, right? Because the concept of Cybernetics is powerful. Everybody is essentially has their own central system. If you've never heard of Cybernetics, drop a one in the chat, because I didn't get that many twos. Because I'm going to go into depth a little bit about it, because everybody has this. Okay, awesome. So psycho-cybernetics is the concept that everybody has this central picture or idea that you see of yourself, right? And let me tell you guys a little bit about Maxwell Waltz, since you have not heard about psycho-cybernetics, but I do encourage that you spend some time listening to this audiobook on YouTube. It's long, but you can just tune in and out, listen to it straight through, break it up. If you're somebody who likes to really indulge in audiobooks, it's a nice listen. But Maxwell Maltz, he was a uh, reconstructive plastic surgeon. That means that when people had plastic surgery and they were not, if people had plastic surgery and they were not happy with the way that they looked, he would be the person who would, yes, Ruby said they have it on Amazon for $15, but you could get paperback. But yeah, so pretty much he was a reconstructive plastic surgeon, and people who had plastic surgery and they weren't happy with the results, they would come, um, and he would fix them. And he realized that doing all these surgeries, that it wasn't really about the outside, but the internal image that people held in their mind of themselves is what they equated to their self-worth. So if they didn't come out the way they expected to, then that had an effect on their confidence, that had an effect on their relationships. He was able to make a lot of people happy by being able to deliver the image that they saw of themselves in their mind. So it's important that whatever image, honestly, that you want to see of yourself, you have to develop that image and hold it in your mind. So the question of the day: are you surrounding yourself by your present or your future? That's very, very, very important to examine. Um, I know a lot of us want to live a life of wealth, and as my best friend would say, a life of opulence. Like, you just want wealth, you want opulence. And it's not really to brag, but you just want to be comfortable. You don't want to have that worry. You don't want to have that anxiety. So you have to look at what is going on around you. Are you dressed in the way that your millionaire self would dress? And if you're not, why not? What's stopping you from that? Right? You don't have to have the exact designer brands, but you can still get the look, right? You can start to surround yourself with things that look like wealth, and with things that feel like wealth, and with things that smell like wealth, right? Because it's very important that the image you see of yourself in your mind is something that you can live up to. And this is not saying that anybody's expectations are unrealistic, but how are you taking the action steps to get to be that person? Like when I see myself, I see a luxurious person. I see somebody that looks good, smells good, feels good, walks the walk, talks the talk, does all these things. So I'm making my outer image align with the things that I see in my mind, right? Everybody has a self image that they see in their mind, hence why a lot of people are unhappy, right? And it doesn't have to be a perpetual state of unhappiness, but a lot of people are unhappy because they're not living up to the image of themselves that they see in their mind. If you feel like that's you, you feel like you are unhappy because you're striving to be the person and live the life that you see in your mind. If that's you, just drop some sevens in the chat, right? Because that's what it's about. I see the sevens coming in. It's about creating that image in your mind, and holding it in your mind and believing that it could be true. Because you can be that person. You just have to start to get the things that will make you that person. The reason why you're not your millionaire self yet is because you're not aligned with those millionaire things yet. Everything you want is a frequency that you can attract to yourself. Everything is a frequency that you can attract to yourself. So it really depends on what you want and how much focus you're going to put on that thing, right? Whenever I think about wealth, right, for a very long time, every time I would smell somebody and they smelled really good, they will always be dressed well as well. So I'm like, wow, this person is doing good because they look good, they smell good, right? So those are things that I associated with wealth. So when I started to envision myself in my mind as a wealthy person, what type of things do I want? What type of things, when people look at me, when they see me, are they going to associate with wealth as well? So I started to get into these things, and this is how I really got into perfumes. And a lot of you guys follow me on Instagram and you see that. Well, I haven't been posting this often, but I'm starting to post it more because that's really a skill. And it's really it's a luxury that I enjoy. And I want other people to know that this exists. You can really start to create the life you want through your senses, right? It starts through your senses, right? It starts with the things you're smelling, right? This is my ultimate favorite perfume ever. And my perfumes have to be within reach because I love them so much. And whenever I want to feel wealthy, if I'm feeling down, if I don't have a good financial week, if I don't have any, I just be like, rich girl vibes. And I just get so happy. And it's like I'm putting myself in alignment with what I see as my self image as wealth, which is naturally making me happy. These are things that I'm putting into my subconscious that are going to make me happy because remember, if I can shift my paradigm, which is my central core identity, right, then I can create the life I want. Because think about this, guys, right? The mind, and I'm going to always say this, I wish I can draw on this, but I can't draw on it when it's in webinar mode. But if you think about the mind, think about it's a circle, right? I'm gonna draw a picture of it one day. It's a circle, right? This is your mind, it's a circle. There's a top half, which is your conscious mind, and this is your bottom half, which is your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is what you can control. These are the people you're talking to. This is the stuff that you're reading. This is the music you listen to. This is where you're at. This is literally everything you can control. It's your conscious mind. You're conscious of what's going on. And your subconscious mind, think about it. Think about your subconscious mind, the split between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Think about it being just a little funnel where things are coming into your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is not really in control. Whatever's in there is just going to come up with something, and then that's going to actually remember the image, the circle. At the bottom is your body, right? And your body is just a function of your mind. So if the things that you're putting into your mind are not conducive to the way that you want your body to move, you have to first change the things that you are around, right? If that makes sense, y'all, drop some 777s in the chat. Drop some MS in the chat. I'm seeing some MS in the chat. So I'm knowing that it's making sense to y'all, right? It's literally science, right? There's a book. I think we listened to this last week. I'm not sure, but it's called The Science of Getting Rich because the answers are there. Nobody ever said it was easy. Nobody ever said it was easy. Because it's not easy, but it's very simple. There's a science to success, and it starts in your mind, right? So now that we understand that the body, right? And if you guys are taking notes, I want you to write this in big capital letters that the body is a function of the mind, right? So if you find yourself sleeping in, if you find yourself saying, I've been wanting to work out, whatever you find your body doing, take a minute to think about what you've been putting into your mind for the last 30 days and see if there's a correlation. Have you just been watching TV that is just drama filled, with unhappy people who are seeming to be doing the same thing that they've been doing? Are you watching people who really are trying to change their love lives and situations? Are you watching people that are miserable or are you watching people that are happy? Right. And I just want to take a survey in the chat. If you can just think about the last 30 days, the people you've been talking to, the media you've been listening to, the books you've been reading, just think about all of these things, right? And then think about, has the overall tone been miserable and broke, or has it been happy and wealthy, right? Just take a mental survey. I'll give everybody about 30 seconds, right? I'm seeing some people say miserable, right? I'm seeing some people say miserable. I'm seeing some people say miserable, right? I'm seeing some people say, okay, it's a mixture, right? I'm seeing happy, right? And if you understand the power of positive thinking, it really means a lot and it does a lot and it takes you to a different place completely, right? So we have to understand again, let's get this visual picture of the mind, right? Because I want you to really start to take a survey of the things that you are consuming. What are you smelling, right? If you live in a I know my friend, she lives in an apartment building and she absolutely hates it because there are hoarders that live in the building as well. So when she comes in, it smells really bad and she does not like that, right? She does not like that smell. So that's one particular reason why she wants to move out of the area because that smell is affecting her quality of life. She associates herself with wealth, opulence, right? And fragrance is important to her as well. So when she is in her space, right? Just like when I'm in my space, I'm creating the smells that I want to smell so I can put myself on that frequency, right? I am burning the type of incense that I want my home to smell like this. Oh, I want whatever you want. You have to create the environment to make your subconscious believe it because remember, it's just funneling in little things, but you can program it to believe whatever you want and it really does start with your environment, right? When you wake up in the morning, what are you seeing? What are you looking at? Right? Are you looking at a messy room? Right? Because your physical space is a reflection of how your mind and how your life is really going. So have you been saying, I'm going to clean up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to do it little by little, but you haven't done it? And I'm pretty sure that's the same way that you've been with your money, right? You've been inconsistent. Whatever you are saying and doing, however you're moving, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? And again, this is important. Your body is a function of the mind. So if your body is doing things that you don't like and you don't enjoy, you have to change what you're looking at, what you're consuming, right? I highly recommend that everybody read or listen to Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill because I was just talking about this earlier. If you are unaware, right, of the things that are blocking you, you feel like, okay, I'm doing all the right things, I'm saying these affirmations, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but it's just not working. There are things that are designed for you to not get where you want to be. Like bad smells are really associated with lower vibrational things, right? So you don't want bad smells in your place, which is hence why you want to be clean, right? Think about what you're touching, right? Sometimes we have to spend a little bit more money on clothes or shoes or hair or whatever because the quality, right, of it is a little bit better, right? So sometimes you maybe just have to, if you just have that one nice thing, that one nice bag, that one nice wallet, that one nice keychain from that brand that you really admire, right? It doesn't have to be a popular brand. It can be a smaller black brand, any luxury brand that you desire, right? Start to shop there, right? Put things in your cart. Start to put yourself on that frequency, right? Start and be grateful that you have it. It says I'm breaking up, so I'm gonna give myself a second. But anything that you want and everything that you want has a specific frequency. And anything that you want, oh, you said I'm breaking up. Let me know if you can hear me. And for my people on Clubhouse, let me know. Okay, let me know. 111s when I'm good to go. Let me know. All right, good. So any and everything that you want has its own frequency. You just have to get there. But you can't get there if you're too busy focusing on lower frequencies. If you're too busy, if your mind is cluttered because your space is cluttered. If your things don't smell the way you want them to smell, and every time you smell a bad, I know every time I smell something bad, I get so turned off. I get so upset. It's such a trigger for me. I really don't like bad smells. Right? I have room sprays. I have personal sprays. I just can't deal. Right? So I've just been increasing my frequency in these ways, and it's just amazing to see how when you trick your subconscious, because that's the thing, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. So if I'm every time I smell this perfume, if I smell this perfume and I say, wow, I'm so happy that that six-figure deposit cleared right in time for my trip to Maldives. If every time I smell that perfume, I just get so happy and I put myself in the frequency of happiness and joy and six-figure deposits in my trip to Maldives, is like, wow, this is amazing, right? So it's going to be easier for me to attract that thing because I'm in that frequency more often, right? Think about it, like when you're dating somebody, you only get to know that person by spending more time with them and being in their energy and being in their frequency more often, right? You get to see what turns you on, you get to see what turns you off. But if you don't start to put yourself in a position or in an environment to experience wealthy things, you're not even going to know. Like you're going to think that, oh, I should be so grateful because I can spend X amount of dollars on perfume. I could spend hundreds of dollars on perfume. I should be so grateful. I'm so lucky. But even within, once you move up in your tax bracket in your class, you're still going to be the same selective person. You don't have to be loving everything just because you're now in that. You're going to have things you like and you're going to have things you don't like. I order perfume samples all the time just to see what I like and don't like. People, millionaires, I'm like, millionaire perfumes that smell rich. Like I'm always looking up different things and I'm like, this smells musty. I don't know what this person was talking about. So it's like it's really different for every person. So you literally have to just start to elevate yourself and know that you deserve it, right? If you want to live in a better neighborhood, right? That's right. It may be right next to your neighborhood. Your neighborhood is not the best, and you like, damn, it's really crazy. Every time you're driving around, you can see the switch from here to there, and you're like, why can't I just do that? Why can't I live better? It's like start to grocery shop in that neighborhood, right? There may be a this grocery store next to your house is convenient, it's close, but you don't want what's convenient, it's close. You want what's best for you, and you want to put yourself in that energy and in that vibration and around those people who are where you want to be, right? You always want to put yourself in a place where like you want to be in a place where you're always consistently elevating yourself. She says yes to be the Saint Laurent perfume that does it for me. Got me feeling like a rich old lady. Yes, guys. In fact, drop your favorite fragrances in the chat because I'm always on the hunt for a great new scent. My ultimate favorite, right? Christmas coming up, family. My ultimate favorite is Florence by Toka. This is just so amazing. Like that's just a nice everyday scent. But my other favorite everyday scent is Bloom by Gucci, which is it's just amazing. I just love floral amazing scent. So drop your rich girl, rich guy, rich boy, rich girl scent in the chat. I would definitely love to indulge and smell those things. So if you guys are feeling the conversation so far, just go ahead and drop some sevens in the chat. Or if you're on Clubhouse, just tap your mic and let me know that you are enjoying the conversation. And if you feel compelled, let me know what's your favorite gem or thing that you've heard so far, because I'm just going to keep going and tell you guys some practical ways, again, that you can start to attract more money into your life. Because the thing is, most people, right? And this quote, it just another level, a level was just revealed to me, right? When they say you have to see it to believe it, I used to think that you had to physically see something to believe that it was going to happen, right? I used to really think, okay, you have to see it to believe it. Like, and I used to think, okay, that's what skeptical people do. They have to see it to believe it. But that's what visionaries do as well. We see it, right? And this is why we have vision boards, and this is the importance of having a vision board because you're seeing. Remember what I said about Maxwell Maltz and the internal image that we hold in our mind about ourselves, right? Remember the internal image that we hold in our minds about ourselves is directly linked to our internal confidence and happiness. So I don't want you to long and hope to be this person. I want you to actually be this person because it's acquirable. There's nothing that anybody on this planet has done that you cannot do. If whatever your ideals of wealth are, you can create them with that consistent programming. You just have to again believe it. You have to believe it. And it's important when I know I was going to say something else, but I forgot. But it's important that when you're practicing these things, you truly, truly believe them. That's why it's important to consistently say something. When actors and actresses are practicing for a part, I believe it's something called the Meisner Technique, where they literally have to say something over and over again. Now they can do this on their own, or they can do this with a partner. But let's just say the line is, "I feel good today," right? They literally just have to keep saying, "I feel good today. I feel good today. I feel good today." Right? And if you're going back and forth with your partner, it's just like it's going to change every single time. You're not going to know what changes because you're saying the same thing, but something's going to change. And then one time you're going to get it right because you said it exactly the way it needed to be said and you felt it and it was felt, right? Think about how many times you wanted to leave a situation or quit a job and you just pondered on the idea and you pondered on it, you pondered on the feeling, how good it would feel to quit, how happy you would be when you left these people and you just pondered on it. So when you actually came into the moment and you had to say it, you believed it. You was not anxious. I know that I've been that person. I've literally pondered and pondered and pondered and pondered on a thought and idea. I've just when it came down to it and it really happened, I wasn't anxious anymore because I had said it or done it so many times. And I always bring up this analogy. I mean, welcome to the people who are just joining the room on Zoom and also the room on Clubhouse as well. But people, um, I forgot what I was saying, y'all. I always do. I always do. But again, if you can see it, if you can see it, you can believe it, and you honestly can achieve it. Like that's really, 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 really important to understand. Um, and there's a quote that I want to read y'all as well, right? And this is important why you should know how to shift your environment, and know that you have the will and power to shift your environment, shift your mindset, shift your lifestyle. And the practical thing that you can do because you spend more time with yourself than anybody. The practical thing that you can do is just talk to yourself better, right? Redo your programming. But what I want to read, and this is anybody. I know people have different religious backgrounds, but it's the concept and point of how strong this particular scripture is, and it just shows you like wow how powerful words are. It says, "In the beginning, the word was with God, but God." Wait, in the beginning, the word was with God, but the word was God. In the beginning, God created without form and void. So when you're going through challenges, the best thing that you can do is use your words because if God created without form and void, right? If the creator created literally out of nothing, you were born from that energy so you can make results from a completely blank slate. It's just having the awareness to know that there's nothing that separates me from the richest person in the world other than where they are right now at this present moment and what they've done with their time, right? That's really the only difference. If you want to be a billionaire, it's not even the desire to want to be a billionaire, but you have the awareness if you're in this space, if you're in this group, if you trade, if you're investing, if you're doing multiple things to multiply your money, you're keeping your streams of income open, you know that the abundance is out there and you know that you deserve it. And you may say your affirmations all the time. Oh my God, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm wealthy. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm rich. But you don't feel any changes happening. You don't see the shifts. But that's because you don't believe it. Like your internal core is not set to believe that you are set up for abundance. And this is for people who are not attracting results, because I know a lot of people that are getting amazing results because they've said this enough times to believe that this is true, right? If for my people who have children, or even yourself, I'm going to continuously say this: when you have a child, or how many times we all have had younger nephews, nieces, cousins, whatever, how many times do you have to call that child by that name in order before that child starts to really recognize who they are, right? How many times did you, and you don't even know the answer to this question, but all you know is that if I told you right now, I'm gonna just use you, Ruby, for example. If said, Ruby, I said, hey, how are you? My name is Cha Cha. What's your name? You said, oh, my name is Ruby. I said, no, it's not. Your name is Danielle. Like, your name is not Ruby. Your name is Danielle. Like, you would literally be arguing with me, or you probably wouldn't argue with me, just know how you are, but you would know for a fact that your name is not Danielle. Like, Kelvin, you would know for a fact that your name is not the name I'm trying to tell you that it is. But why is that? Why is what I'm saying not true? Why is my truth not true, but your truth is? It's because you genuinely believe that your name is Ruby, because when you were growing up, how many times did your parents, your guardians, the people who raised you, how many times did they call you Ruby? Even when you were in the room, even when you were in the womb, right? Even when you were in the womb. Like, and this is why I love talking to really small children, because they have such fascinating imaginations, and they actually do remember, they have memories from in the womb. Like, that's a different story for a different day. But if you ever talk to a little kid that's like 3 or 4, ask them, do you remember being in your mother's belly? Was it dark? Was it light? They will literally tell you details, and you're gonna be like, this is fascinating, right? So the only reason why you believe that your name is what your name is, right? The only reason why you believe that, let's just start there. The only reason why you believe that your name is what your name is because you heard it so many times, right? You heard it, so you believed it. You believe it. But I can sit here and tell you that your name is Danielle, and you will never believe that. You will never believe me, Ruby, because your core paradigm, right? Your Cybernetics says that I am Ruby. This is who I am. This is who I've associated with myself. These things are associated with Ruby. But think about it. If you didn't give yourself your name, how many other things have you not associated with yourself? And this includes your initial thoughts about money. This includes your thoughts about wealth. This includes your self image. How many people have told you that you are not beautiful? I believe every single person is honestly beautiful, because it was like a 1 in 4 billion, some extravagant number chance that you would even be born and exist in this lifetime at this time. And that's just amazing in itself. Like, everybody literally is. We're all literally, if we really want to talk about it, nobody on this planet was supposed to be here. So it's just a beautiful thing that life exists. But what are your core beliefs about wealth and money? Who taught you that? Right? You didn't give yourself your name, right? And I really want this to sink in. You didn't name yourself. So how many other things didn't you condition yourself to? Right? And we can love our names. I'm not saying you have to go down to the courthouse and change your name and you like, oh my God, who am I? I'm not saying you have to do that, but I am saying that a lot of our life have been conditionments that we had nothing to do with. If this makes sense and this is resonating with you guys, just drop some sevens in the chat and let me know that you're really feeling me, right? Because a lot of the times that we have conversations or we hop on these calls, I see the sevens coming in. I appreciate you guys. A lot of the times that we hear these things, it's really the first time that we're hearing them. When we have conversations with people, it may be maybe the first time that we're having a conversation with that person. And a lot of us, I know I'm the type of person, I used to pride myself on remembering every conversation that I had. I'm like, I remember every detail. You can't lie to me. I remember what you said and it was this day. But then I've also had moments where I completely forgot something. And I also had moments where I thought it was something, but then somebody else who was there told me and I was like, oh yeah, right? Because we really have these things called false memories that distract us from our true internal picture of who we want to be, right? And I just want us to always just we have to claim who we are, claim our identity, claim our internal image and not let that be dictated by external things. Like, I really hope y'all understanding what I'm saying. Like, don't let your external image be determined by things. Like, you didn't choose the fact that you were born a male. You didn't choose the fact that you were born a female. You didn't choose the fact that you have light skin, brown skin, curly hair, straight hair. You didn't choose the fact that you have dark eyes, light eyes. You didn't choose the fact that it's a lot of things you didn't choose about yourself. But if we think about it, most of the conditionments that we have in life come from our identity, right? And isn't that so crazy? The things that we really cannot change the most is what essentially drives the most, I don't know, I would say despair in our lives, right? It drives despair in our lives because we get so caught up trying to change the things we cannot change, right? Instead of focusing on the things that make us strong and the things we can control, like our marvelous mind, right? The simple fact that you can control your marvelous mind is a superpower, right? We watch superhero movies all the time, Marvel, DC. We watch all these things all the time. And the reason why a lot of people are attracted to these things is because they don't believe that they have superhuman capabilities, but it's nice to see somebody else do it, right? The same reason why people would rather say, I know a rich person than I am a rich person because they don't believe that they can do it, right? Do you think that if somebody had the awareness that they can make X amount of dollars a month, that they would settle for making what they're currently making right now? If they had the awareness, right? Do you think that if they knew that they could be making $100,000 a month, that they would settle for making $100,000 a year? I don't think so. I think that in their mind to opportunities that are saying like, yo, it's really a lot of ways to get money. Because I myself, I'm an investor in the foreign exchange market. I'm an investor in a few markets, right? It's not just this. Like, there's a lot of ways to get wealth. And once I just opened my mind up to that possibility, and I told myself, right, I wish I could show you guys my vision board and my huge calendar, but you can see it back there. That's really a jumbo calendar, right? Because it's just so many things that I have to do. And next to that calendar, you see a dollar bill. And on that dollar bill, it says $500 weekly, because that's how much I wanted to make residually first from this opportunity. But I wrote that down. I didn't write, I want to make $500 residually from I Am Academy. I wrote, I want to make $500 residual. And there's a few other things that I wrote on that dollar bill right there that have come true, because one, I had a desire because money I wanted to make. Two, I money is a vibration, right? So if I write 500, 500, the number 500 up, or if I'm good, y'all, 444 is if I'm breaking up, ones I'm good. All right, let me know when I'm good. Let me know by dropping some ones in the chat. All right, amazing. I'm getting some ones. I just need a few more. All right, if you guys can hear me clearly and still see me, just drop some ones in the chat. All the chats are coming to me directly. All right, thank you. All right, awesome. So because we know that money, okay, everything we just said, let's really back it up to bring it into perspective and talk about how, because the question of the day is, are you living in your present? Are you living in your future? What are you creating for yourself? What vibration are you keeping yourself on? Are you keeping yourself in a stuck low vibration of sad, oh my God, I can't, this is terrible? Like, if God created the word, if the word was God, then anything you say is going to come to pass. Like, it's something else I want to read to y'all too. And I highly encourage y'all to really dive into this piece of literature that I'm going to share with y'all. But what I was saying before I started breaking up was that everything we want to attract to ourselves is a frequency. We're frequencies. We're actually atoms. Our bodies are literally atoms moving so fast that they seem solid. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. So if we know that everything is just a frequency, everything is a bunch of atoms moving on a frequency. If I can align myself on a frequency with the things that I want by getting my mindset right and programming my subconscious to be on that frequency, then I can attract these things to my life, right? So on that $1 bill, wait, where is it? Yep, there we go. On that $1 bill, I wrote $500 a week, and I've been attracting that and more consistently since I decided to put myself in that vibration because yes, that's a $1 bill, but it has 500 written on it, right? Numbers are a vibration. That money is a vibration, so it's coming to me. That's what I want. That's what I wanted, right? I didn't say, "Oh my God, God, please make me this specific level or thing so that I can obtain this money." No, I said how much money I wanted, right? I said how much money I needed for the things that I needed to achieve, and I was able to get that thing, right? Easily, very easily, because I'm just following the laws of the universe and I'm creating the environment that I want, right? Like I'm creating the environment that I want because I know that I have the power to do so. It's a very amazing thing when you realize that your mind is powerful and you have to see it to believe it. That's something I was saying earlier. Some people have to see it to believe it, right? This is my way of seeing it to believe it. I have a vision board of things that I want to accomplish. And that the bottom one, the big one, is a vision board. Wait, this big one is a vision board, but then this small green one is a vision board too. But on the big one, I just look at it and laugh sometimes. I just go over there and I dance and I listen to music and I'll be like, it's funny because I made this vision board about 2 years ago and a lot of things have been happening from that board, but it's like unconsciously just because I was seeing it. It's like I knew I wanted these things and I desired it so much and I put it in my foresight. I put it in my foresight and I started to really like follow the laws of the universe and things have been coming to me so much better and so much more. So I celebrate before it happens because I know it's going to happen, right? Anytime you pray and you feel like prayer doesn't work, it's like you're expecting the check to bounce, right? You can't pray for something and say that it's not going to happen, or pray for something and then have a plan B. That doesn't make any sense. That's like when you have a thought or idea, this is what it's like. And when you don't believe it, it's like you deposit that thought or check into your mind, right? And it's going through the process. Y'all know how long sometimes it takes for checks to deposit. Hence, why we should trade daily deposits. But anyway, you literally know how long it can take a check, especially if it's a big check, to go through the process of all those things. So it's like you deposit this check, thought, or idea. I want this thing. I have the desire. And then you're like, oh no, I'm gonna put it in a different account. I want to put it in a different bank. You know how long it could be, especially if it's a holiday weekend. Like they're gonna have to stop it, reverse it, send you a new check, and get lost in the mail. And whenever it's something you really need or want, it always seems to get off track or just to get lost. It's because you wasn't focused. You really was not focused. You literally let it get off track. Like you let it get off track. You lost sight of it. You didn't visually see it every single day. You didn't hold the image in your mind's eye. You didn't believe you could have it. You went back to your cybernetics, right? You went back to your system. Another example of cybernetics, because I didn't fully explain it earlier, is an air conditioning system in a home, right? If you have an air conditioning or heating system in a home and you set that home to a certain temperature, it's supposed to maintain that temperature. So let's say the temperature in the house is supposed to be 72 degrees. I think that's absolutely perfect, right? With a heater, because I'm always cold. But let's just say you set the temperature to 72 degrees and it's winter outside, right? If somebody opens the door, right, that may bring the temperature in the house down to like 65 degrees. Now it's cold. Y'all let the energy in, it's cold, right? Now the cybernetic system in the house is going to rise, it's going to turn on the heating system and it's going to rise the system back to 72 degrees because that's the cybernetic core settings of what it should be, right? So it says that we always revert back to something. If you guys understand that analogy for cybernetics, and how it relates to you, your core image, your self image, what you believe about yourself, how you see yourself, drop some sevens in the chat, right? If an air conditioning system, right, if an outside force comes into a system, it's going to have to readjust itself and get back to what it was set to be, right? So ask yourself this question: what are you set to be? What does your environment look like? What does your environment smell like? Are you smelling like $1,000,000? Like I know I love getting compliments on how I smell because I used to compliment people on the way they smell, and it was just the association with wealth. And it's like I'm well on my way. Like my environment is so intentional. Is what I smell, is what I'm eating, right? I like to go out like maybe once a month, right? And I like to take myself somewhere new to a different neighborhood. Like I get to see different architecture, different homes, and I'm like, ooh, this is actually really nice. I'm just putting myself in an environment that I want to be in instead of staying where I'm at and like, oh my God. It's like we just can't. be so hard on ourselves because we have the ability to change it. And we can't be hard on ourselves because it's not your fault. Did you ask to be born? Raise your hand if you asked to be born, right? And this is not to be morbid, but none of us asked to be here, which means that you didn't choose. You literally could have been born into some wild, crazy, whack family. Like you really could have been born into some wild, crazy, whack family. I feel like everybody's family got some crazy secrets. I'll just be like, but you didn't choose any of that. But what you can choose, right, now that you do have the awareness, and it's not your fault that you may not have known before today, because it's a lot of people on this call, you may not have known before today that you can change the outcome of your life by changing your core belief system. How do you change your core belief system? You have to first examine what is your belief system, right? And what areas of your life really bother you the most? Is it money? Is it the fact that you never seem to have enough? Is it the fact that you if you can think about all the money that you've attracted in the last 10 years, but you can't say where a dime of it went, it's like you just have a good relationship with money. Or maybe your thing is in the same, oh, all men are the same. Oh, all women are the same. Oh my God. It's like that is what you truly believe about love. Like really examine what your core beliefs are. Are you believing that men should be a certain way because that's how you saw your father was, or that's how you saw your father wasn't? Do you believe that women should be a certain way because that's what you saw your mother do, or because that's what you saw your mother didn't do? It's like, where do your core ideas come from? What things bother you the most, and where did that programming come from? Is it your identity? Maybe you don't like the color of your skin. Maybe you don't like the texture of your hair. And it's like, where did that programming come from? Like, literally, sit here and think about it. Like, who told you that? And it probably was one person long ago, but it's over now. And you still have been be able to date and look good and be sexy and pull people. So what are they talking about? Like, you always got to go back to that. What were they talking about? Like, if you've ever had that moment where you've had just a moment of clarity on your personal identity or your financial situation, especially in this opportunity, when I realized I can click buttons to make money, I was like, what? And then people were still talking about work. I was in a whole frenzy of what was everybody talking about? Right. Once you have such a moment of clarity, what was they talking about? If you've ever had that moment, just drop some sevens in the chat. Right. That's my favorite number, by the way, because you can really do whatever you want, right? You don't have to believe the things that people say about you. And most of the times people are just projecting the things that they feel about themselves onto you. Maybe they don't like their hair texture, maybe they don't like the color of their skin. Maybe they're, remember, because the body is a function of the mind, right? And they are not self-aware, and they don't understand that the things that they've been taught and told have determined how they think and move and how they're talking to you. They don't think about the things that they did not filter out of their mind, right? They don't think about their unconscious programming that every time they listen to music with a certain frequency or vibration that's actually inciting them to be violent or chaotic or in love or sad or happy, right? Music, this is important, y'all. Music, audiobooks, anything that you can hear. This is why you have two ears and one mouth for a reason. You're supposed to listen more. Anything that's audio, you need to very beware. Like, it's the people you're talking to, who you're listening to, because that is the only thing that sound is the only frequency, right? That can really enter your body and change it on just so many different ways, right? And music is the only art form that can physically enter your body. So when people are listening to certain music and then certain things happen at shows or certain things, what was that frequency designed to incite? Right? This is why it's very important to be mindful of who you're listening to, the conversations that you're having, because most people, like, I really know it's a lot of people saying like, wow, this is mind blowing. This is their first time hearing this or learning about these deep concepts, and it has to start somewhere. It really has to start somewhere. So I want us to have this awareness and think, when you look at your environment now, are you living in your present or are you living in your future? Right? Are you living in your present or are you living in your future? Right? Your present would be, I don't like these clothes I wear. They too big. I lost weight. I gained weight. Okay, update your wardrobe. Yeah, your present could be, oh my God, I don't like my hair like this. I need to, okay, well, start to take the steps to do that. Maybe you want to lock your hair. Maybe, I don't know what you want to do. But it's a lot of things that you just have to do. You just have to change your environment. Maybe I don't know, you have to write it down and believe it. So just to wrap it up on my end, because I don't know if anybody wants to add anything. If you do want to add anything, just drop some threes in the chat, and I'll just give you the ability to unmute so you can comment on anything I said, anything you heard that was of value today. But there are some practical things that you can start to do to align yourself with wealth, and to really reset your mind. And it really just start with knowing that you can do that. I want you to take an examination of your, it's nice to start with your social media. This is a practical thing that you can do. Why? Because we spend a lot of time scrolling on our social media anyway. You might as well scroll, and then when you see something, maybe you see somebody that's exploiting themselves, maybe you see somebody that's being exploited, maybe you see somebody expressing themselves in a way that's just crazy. Like, because now that you have the awareness, you're going to be like, why am I looking at this? Right? You can click the three little dots next to their picture, and you can click hide. Right? It's going to say hide, or it's going to say mute, and you can mute that so you don't have to see stuff like that, so it's not in your subconscious. Like, you wonder why you're always bored and sad and worried. It's because you're looking at and observing the lives of people and listening to the lives of people that are bored, anxious, and they don't know where they're going. That's a frequency, right? That's a frequency. And that's what you're observing. So if you don't want to see it, hide it or unfollow that person. That's a practical step that I recommend everybody take, to really, really, really start to clean up your life, clean up your mind, and reset your subconscious. Right? So that's step number one. Clean up your social media, because we on social media anyway, right? It's not a homework, but it kind of is. So step number two, you need to decide what you want, right? This can be a long-term goal, or this can be a short-term goal, but you need to write it down. And I want to challenge y'all. Nobody said they wanted to speak, so I'm just going to continue to talk, and share the last thing I wanted to share with y'all. So the second thing I recommend is that you find a desire that you really, really want, and write it down, right? Because look, I wrote it down and it started to come to me in ways I didn't expect. Maybe your desire is to attract more money. So I just really want you to focus on one desire, just one desire. It could be, I will attract more money. It can be, I will attract better connections. It can be, I will attract genuine relationships. Whatever you truly desire, I will master HFX trading. I will hit this rank, hit this level. Whatever it is you desire, right? Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. This is something called a goal card, right? It's called a goal card. And the goal card really is going to help you achieve what you want, because you're literally bringing the vibration, the frequency of that thing to yourself. So I have it right there because my bed is right behind me. So as soon as I wake up, that's the first thing I see. Like, literally, as soon as I wake up, that's the first thing I see. I don't have any time to, what could you possibly be stressed about when you first wake up in the morning? I will never understand that. But as soon as I wake up, I see my goals, and I automatically just get so happy. Like, I put myself in that frequency. Like, there's a really nice luxury apartment on there. Like, as soon as I wake up, I see it and I'm like, wow, this is about to be my view. And I'm so grateful and I have gratitude. And I wrote it down. I see it. I gotta see it to believe it. Right? I gotta see it to believe it. Right? Some people, and another thing you gotta do, you gotta believe it to see it too. It's like a catch 22. You gotta do both. So that's another thing I do. I write it down. I see it. I make sure I see it multiple times a day. I'm always running up and down the stairs. But every time I come in my room, right, before I go to bed at night, that's the last thing I see. And it's sinking into my, remember the mind, guys. The body is a function of the mind. It's sinking into my subconscious mind. And it's really making me subconsciously go harder, because I'm reprogramming myself to alignment with the things that I want. So it's coming so much more easy, right? It's coming so much more easy, right? So step one, take a survey of your environment, right? Your physical environment, your social media environment. Step two, write down your goals or what you want. I promise you, this is a formula for success, right? And step three is just to say it. Spend at least 10 minutes a day focusing on that goal. Just 10 minutes a day. Do it while you on the toilet. Do it while you smoking your joint. Do it while you drinking your coffee. Instead of reading the paper, just focus on your goal. I'm about to be rich. Like 10 minutes a day. And the more I really promise y'all, because I'm getting excited right now for y'all. The more you say it, you're just gonna really start to believe it, and you're gonna get so hype. And if you want to take it to the next level, look in the mirror and do it, because that is some mind-blowing manifestation stuff, y'all. You really going, because you know that the intention within that 10 minutes is to get happy and pretend you're happy about being rich. And remember, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. So you really happy for 10 minutes. You really going to start to believe it. And that one, any thought that you put into your mind is automatically going to be planted, and it's going to start to multiply multiple cells in your body. So that feeling of happiness is going to spread and joy, and you're just going to be attracting so much abundance. So you're not even going to know why. You're going to be like, oh my God, like it could be one opportunity from your business, but your business hasn't been blinking for months. It could be one opportunity for your business and you just started your business and you're like, oh my God, I feel so good. But that's because you're now getting used to the vibration of happiness. You trained yourself to do it 10 minutes a day. So if y'all good with that, drop some 777s in the chat. If y'all want me to share this last and final gem that I just love, and I will try to share it in the chat as well. Just drop some ones in the chat, because this is called the self-confidence formula. And this John really be snapping. Like it really be snapping. So all right, we got some sevens and last final. I don't know if it's working, y'all. I don't see any ones in the chat. I need to know if I should keep going or if it's going to kick me off. Okay, cool. I got some ones. Okay, you're coming again. Okay, okay. All right, y'all. So I'm really just looking for this thing so I can read it to y'all. And you won't be able to take notes too fast, but I'm gonna send it to y'all in the chat because this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, hold on. Okay, you see me now. Awesome. Awesome. Um, so this thing, you guys don't know, or you will learn that Napoleon Hill is one of my favorite authors. I just think his thoughts are so life changing. That's where I get a lot of this information from. I mean, that's why I'm choosing to go this direction with my mentorship, because it makes sense. You can't really reinvent the wheel. You just have to go to where the source of that information is and just really dive in, because it really is life changing. So he wrote something called the self confidence formula. And this is literally how you accomplish anything. Anything. If you want to accomplish anything that you desire, anything and everything that you desire, anything, please let me get some threes in the chat, because everything I've told y'all, I've gotten from books, right? I've gotten from thought leaders of the past, and I have really changed my life through putting these practices into place. So the self-confidence formula is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So I'm literally just going to read it, right? So you guys can close your eyes, you can relax, you can just really listen and let it sink in. But I'll send it to you as well so you can reference it on your own time. But listen to how easy it is, how simple. It's not easy because it takes commitment, but how simple it is to achieve all of your desires. So the first commitment is this: I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. Therefore, I demand of myself. I demand of myself. You're programming yourself. I demand of myself persistent, aggressive, and continuous action towards its attainment. I'm going to read that again, right? Because this is some deep stuff, because this is everything I just said. I know right? This is your conviction, your belief. You shift in that paradigm. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose. Therefore, I demand myself persistent, aggressive, and continuous action towards its attainment, right? That's the first commitment on the self-confidence formula. Number two, right? Number three is my favorite, y'all. But number two, I realize, right, that the dominating thoughts of my mind eventually reproduce themselves in outward bodily action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my mind for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person that I intend to be, right? By creating a mental picture of this person and then transforming that picture into reality through practical service, right? If y'all feeling this, if y'all are understanding this, right? And this is something you can read every single day to program yourself. It works, right? Drop some sevens in the chat. I'm gonna read number two again, but drop some sevens in the chat if y'all feeling me. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind, right, eventually reproduce themselves in outward bodily action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality, right? Therefore, I concentrate my mind. I concentrate my mind, right? For 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person that I intend to be, right? 30 minutes a day speaking of the person that I intend to be, right? Remember, with persistent, aggressive, and continuous action toward this attainment, you know you're going to have it, right? You are creating a mental picture of this person and then transforming that picture into reality through practical service, right? Y'all, about to go on to number three. I'm loving the fire emojis in the chat. Y'all say, I feel this. Preach. Yes. Amen. Right? Just keep dropping it, right? As I'm reading this, whatever you're feeling, really just drop it in the chat because this is some real stuff, y'all. Number three. This is my ultimate favorite, y'all. Number three, the third law of the the third commitment, I'm sorry, of the self-confidence formula. I know, right, that through the principle of auto-suggestion, right, I know that through the principle of auto-suggestion, desire, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind, right? This is any desire, y'all. This is if you want your private jet, if you just want to fly coach one time with your spouse, you just want to vacation. If you want to win $2 on a lottery ticket that you think about buying or you just bought, if you want to win $2,000, if you want to win $2 million, if you want to make $2 billion, $2 quadrillion, right? We could keep going because any desire, right? Any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of realizing it, y'all. Therefore, I shall devote 10 minutes daily to demanding myself to the development of these factors, right? Y'all, I'm gonna read that one more time because auto suggestion is just saying something over and over and over and over and over again. I know that through the principle of auto suggestion, any desire, like, yo, that blows my mind because I'm really about to be rich. Any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of realizing it. Therefore, I shall devote 10 minutes daily to demanding myself of the development of these factors. Right, y'all? We going in. We got two more principles, right? Y'all want me to keep going with the fourth and fifth principle? Just drop some ones in the chat so I can know y'all still awake and I'm not over here talking to myself, right? And the beauty of this is that this is recorded, y'all. So y'all can go back and watch this again, right? Y'all can go back and watch this again. Yes, I'm getting ones in the chat. I love it. Y'all still dropping flame emojis. It's just going crazy because this is in a book. Yo, I went to a conference in July, David Emonitier conference. He teaches belief. And the conference came with a workbook, y'all. Like literally a workbook. And I got notes on notes on notes. So I really just will look at one page and be automatically back in that moment. And it was a lot of church vibes going on. So let's get into it. We got two more commitments. It is like Sunday service for the person who will not give up, right? You don't gotta be building a business to not give up, right? Life is about making what you want out of it, and we all deserve to be abundant. So one still coming in the chat. Law number 4, right? Y'all, I love this, right? I have clearly mapped out and written down a description of my definite purpose in life for the next coming years, right? I have set price on my service for each of these years, a price that I intend to earn and receive through strict application of the principle of efficient, satisfactory service, right? So for my business owners, right, especially people who are entrepreneurs, you work with your hands, whatever you do, you already know, right, what your prices is going to be. And don't lower your prices for anybody. If you want your prices to be $500 starting for a consultation, you have clearly mapped out and written down a description of your definite purpose in life for the next coming years, right? And you know that through the principle of auto suggestion, any desire that you persistently hold in your mind will eventually and the fifth and final commitment that no wealth, right? And it's about to hit some people real different because if you come from where I come from, it says I'm breaking up, y'all. It says I'm breaking up, y'all. Let me know if I'm good because this is really the last gem. We're gonna wrap it up. If anybody wants to speak, I'll open the floor. But if I'm good, okay, y'all said I'm good, right? So if y'all come from where I come from within this particular business, right, within this particular investment group, this is fifth and final law. You can just tell where it was practiced, where it was not practiced. And I really want you to apply this to your own life, right? I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure, right, unless built upon. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction with right? You're not to people for no reason. If you're not talking to somebody unless it's going to benefit, inserting yourself into stuff, you're coming into somebody's life to make it better, right? So it says, I will succeed by attracting to me the forces to use, right? Of other people, right? This is not manipulation. I, I will induce others to serve me because I will serve them first. I will eliminate envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism. Of um once again, it's only two more sentences. I know I'm dropping mad jigs, mad heat. I'm here to see me. I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna open the floor. And then I'm gonna take. Let me know by dropping some ones in the chat to make sure I'm good. All right, y'all with me? All right, awesome. Awesome. Okay, awesome. I'm starting to see them come in. So the last law says, I fully yo, it don't want me to be great. It don't want me to be great. If I'm good, drop a 1. If I'm breaking up, drop a 4. I really just want to get out this last word and then wrap it up. All right, awesome. I don't know why. I do know why. I don't want y'all to hear the. They don't want y'all to hear the word, but This is the last word, and this is the most important word, and this is why this is one is the most important. So don't kick me out again, Zoom. It says, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed, right? I will succeed by attracting to me the forces I wish to use in the cooperation, not the manipulation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because I will serve them first. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, cynicism by developing love for all humanity because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and I will believe in myself. So that is it today for the Money Mantra off the chart service. I really just feel like I had to get that entire word out on changing your environment because it's you versus you. It's really you versus you. I would love to have some participation. If you guys would like to speak or have the ability to unmute yourself, just drop some threes in the chat. I will go ahead and let you talk if you want to add any commentary. Anybody here on Zoom or anybody over at Clubhouse, just go ahead and if you're on Clubhouse, flash your mic and let me know. And if you're on Zoom, again, just drop some threes to say how this made you feel today. To say how you're gonna change paradigm. To say any of these self-confidence formula rules that you are going to incorporate into your life. I would love to hear from y'all. So again, just drop some threes. I'll give you guys about 60 seconds or so, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, so I don't see anybody on Clubhouse. I do have some private messages there, but I would want everybody to hear everybody's response if anybody is going to be speaking. All right, so that's going to wrap up our money mantra hours for today. I will be sending out this video. If you would like to rewatch it, it will be posted in so if you like the subject or you did enjoy what you heard, just send me a text message, right? This is my number. And you guys can just let me know. You know, I love having conversations about any and everything, especially if it's progressive. So I will get back to y'all later and see you on Friday.